Hiya! Welcome back to my monthly challenge for 2026. This is the month of May, and I'm very excited to share with you everything that has happened in this month because unlike the last month, I actually did stuff! Woo! So, thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to get into the play that I wrote this month, and then I'll share with you the song I created for it. Don't expect too much in the realm of the song, but I personally think it's kind of a fun little ditty. I was trying something new. I used some vocals, something that I don't often do because it's kind of super nerve-wracking to do that, but I put it in there, so I want to make sure that you get to listen to it. Also, I want to make sure that you don't get freaked out. Behind me, this is a wig, and behind that is just like a mannequin head. They're there because I have recently moved into a new building. That is one of the reasons that I didn't really get anything done last month, is because this very sudden move happened. I explained in the last video. But I have now set up my computer space in my very lovely partner's costuming room. They are a sewer as a trade, and so they need a lot of space for all of their big projects. I don't need quite as much space because I just write stuff. So I'm now delegated down to the corner of a costuming room. So if right here on my left is another mannequin. There's a mannequin right there. There's another mannequin head over there. There's like 5 wigs right here. So please ignore the fact that there's just going to be wigs and mannequins in my videos now. I don't really have a choice in that. And neither do you. So let's get into the play. I want to talk to you about this one because I'm really excited about it. This play is called Princess Symphony. It's one that I wrote last year in one of my weekly plays, and it really only got like a few pages. I only really wrote one scene last year in the week that I made this play that set up the next scene, but it didn't actually go any further. I wanted to take that really cool play and build it into something full, something that actually has an ending, something that's complete. I ended up with about 4 scenes, each one about a different problem that our princess is having. So the full title of the play is Princess Symphony and the Never-Ending Slew of Misogynistic Men. This play is sort of analyzing the different ways that men can become or can be misogynistic. Specifically, it's detailing a lot of the different ways that that can happen in relation to the women in their life. So yes, this is a play about Princess Symphony, who is a very, very strong character, I think. But it's also a play about all of the troubles that she's dealing with because of the sort of patriarchal society set up behind her. Yes, a lot of the characters in the show are men, but I do think the comedy would be best played if we had instead a cast of all women and we were able to celebrate all of their success while making this show. So that is Princess Symphony. I think it's a really funny show. It's pretty tight. I think it would be like 30-40 minutes. I'm kind of getting into like a 30-40 minute play style right now, so that seems to be in my search to find my best format to write a play. That kind of seems to be the golden zone. I like my writing to be tight, and when you have a tight script, it kind of becomes a short play. So I don't think it's a bad thing that they're kind of ending up under the hour mark. Honestly, I think with attention spans where they are right now, this is actually a pretty good thing. I could even have an evening of shows where I put 3 one after another, and it's like 30 minutes, 30 minutes, 30 minutes. By the end of the 2-hour mark, which is generally when people are exiting a play or a musical they go to see in a bigger theater, I've now showed them 3 different shows. Like, I think that would be a really great way to deliver some of the shows that I've been working on. All that said, I'm going to get into the categories now. So, for Princess Symphony, we've got pages, 22 pages, words, 4,965. If we compare with the previous, we can see 5,014 pages, 3,000 but 22 pages, and 5,034 pages. So Rat Play is by far the longest one, but Um, page count doesn't always translate directly to word count. Sometimes if dialogue is written a certain way, it just fills more pages. So in this play, it looks like it's quite wordy, but page-wise, it's not the longest. My themes that I wrote here: feminism, definitely. Duty, I think class is a big concept in this one. I am dealing with, the character is a princess, and the other characters are not royalty, so you do have a bit of a, oh, hi, Pico. There is a bit of a discussion about whether or not the ruling class should be monarchy. That's something I talk about sometimes in a few plays. I just have a lot of strong opinions on monarchy. Um, in this play particularly, one of the conversations that is had about Princess Symphony is that yes, she is trying to improve her kingdom. She's trying to, thanks Pico, she's trying to do the best for everything that she can, and she's kind of getting stopped by all of this misogynistic system and all of the people who subscribe to it. And part of the obstacles in her way is that some people are actually very legitimately not happy with her as a ruler because they don't like the monarchical system. So, she has the obstacles of men who are just misogynistic, but then she's also got the obstacles of men who are misogynistic in a system that perpetuates their distrust and their dislike of her. And what is she going to do about that? And, she might analyze along the way whether or not her power as a princess actually affects what she does in the real world. I also, oh my god, Pico. No, my pages are not T6666 repeated 22. That's. Did you see that happening? Because that is. She can't help but sand on my keyboard, and I really don't want her to. But she just loves it. She just loves standing on the keyboard so much. And especially now that I'm on a smaller desk, I don't have that little spot where she can lay down. I mean, you can see there's no room for a cat to lay down while I'm using the computer here. And she's really having trouble with that. I feel really bad. I don't really know where to help her set up. You can see it. She's kind of like, where do I go? And yeah, I don't know. Pico. That's a good spot? Yeah, okay. So the other themes that I wrote there are feminism and duty. When I put the word duty in there, I usually mean like a trio of things. Like duty kind of goes hand in hand with honor, which kind of goes hand in hand with obligation. So in this case, I think it's more of an obligation theme. It's like, what do you owe to the people you serve, and what do they owe to you? So yeah, I do want to make sure, because I write duty a lot in my themes over the last year, but I want to make sure you know that I'm saying it's more of like when you are in a public serving position, what is it that you owe to them, and what is it that they owe to you, and what are the ways that those two connections can be used to further everybody and the whole society. It took me about 5 days to write it. This is again how I do it, is I go through my history, my edit history, and I look for large chunks of time that I was writing, and I just count up how many days I did something like that. In this case, it was 4 days, and then one day where I actually went to a workshop reading. There was a local event where they were looking for 10-page snippets of a piece. I had at that point written 10 pages of this, so I submitted it. I went to hear my play read, as well as hear 3 other plays read. They were all really interesting and cool, so it was just a fun evening in general. But from that workshop reading, I was able to get some feedback, hear what people thought of the first 2 scenes, and from there build the rest of it. So that was really valuable and really helpful. So I'm counting that workshop reading day as another day of work I did on this, because it was a full day. I went to a location. I was there for a long time. I was talking to people about the play. It was networking, which in my line of work is definitely a valuable part. So 5 days of work on this one. I was slacking a little bit, but like I said, I was getting used to my new place. This is a brand new apartment for me, and I have to set everything up and put everything where it needs to go and drill holes so I can screw in things, and just like a lot of stuff. I have a lot of stuff to do. So hopefully that'll calm down over the next few months as I am more used to the space and I can get back into the rhythm that I do with my writing, which is generally at home. So like it is important for me to have a space that feels good so that when I write, I'm not constantly getting distracted. So for potential, I put high because I can already see this going on stage. I heard it from the feedback at the workshop. A lot of people said it seems ready to go. So I definitely want to put this out pretty soon. Comedy is like 95% of it is comedy. I put 30% drama because there is a bit of dramatic moments, but it's way more played for comedy. I think it's almost completely comedic. Something that I've really enjoyed trying at. Friend approval rating, I already said there was a workshop reading. I wanted to highlight specifically my friend Jen, who I really respect as an artist, who said that this seems ready for stage, and that was a big compliment for me. I really liked hearing that. You can kind of already hear in the dialogue so many fun elements that could show up when you put it on stage. So in the right hands, a good director would be able to take the script, which is decent, and transform it into something really great. So that's a great compliment because it also means I can be a bit more confident and comfortable being like, all right, let's get this ready. Let's get this going. Let's find a crew and a cast and let's do the show. And so I want to thank Jen for that. Thank you, Jen. Of course, I respect her opinion. Jen's awesome. Potential costumes, I think you got to go full medieval for this one. Those were definitely the ideas I had in my head. I know the script writing, the dialogue is really anachronistic, but that's because comedy plays to the audience you have, and my audience is not made up of people who do live in the medieval Europe or medieval times that this show is set in. So a lot of the comedy is playing for modern people's sensibilities, and it's a lot different. But costume-wise, you gotta go full medieval on this one. My favorite line is from the knight in shining armor, who is a recurring character here, who says "Princess stab wound," and I can't really explain why it's my favorite line without spoiling like a huge amount of the show. But just take my word for it. When this line happens, it's really funny and everybody laughing. And my favorite character is Tiffany for two reasons. One, because it's good that there's another woman character in there and she has a really fun arc, but also because, did you know Tiffany is historically a name that comes from the medieval period? Do you believe that? Because I did not believe that. Tiffany sounds like the lead singer of a pop ska band. So I used the name in this case because I feel like other people might think the same thing, and then there's a little joke about that in the show. And finally, the overall rating is a 9. I didn't put it quite at a 10 because I think there are a few tweaks I would want to make during rehearsal process. It doesn't quite have that second draft feel yet where everything is punchy, there's a few moments in this play where the dialogue is kind of long-winded in order to get from where we are to where we need to go, and I haven't quite tightened it up as much as I would like to yet. So I just wanted to flag that. That's a little issue that I want to work on when I do more with this piece. So for now, it's a 9. And I also want to take a second. Let's look at the averages from May of 2025. There was 4 plays last year in May, and the average was 3.75 pages and 1,175 words. So if we times both of those by 4, I'm actually doing a lot better in this month than I did last year. In total, I wrote more words and I have more pages. So it's not the best metric for how far I've come, but I can already see that that's a big improvement. And I think one of the things that really helped was having such a clear idea of what this show is about and what it should be. That really helped me push forward through the times when I would be feeling stuck. It helped me push forward through those and get to the completed play. That's always my biggest goal when I'm writing a play, is I want to get to the end of the first draft. As soon as I get to that end of the first draft, I can start looking at the play through the lens of the completed arc. I can go, okay, here's where we start, here's where we're finishing, what stuff in the middle doesn't need to be there, or what stuff in the middle isn't there that should be, and I can adjust things and really just like tighten them in from the ending. What is the cleanest and best path in between these 2 points? So for me, the first draft of a play is always just figuring it out until I get there, and then once I'm at the ending, now I have a completed play, I can really tighten it up. I've said tighten it up so much in this video, so I'm apologizing right now if you don't like those words. That's it. That's it for May. I'm about to play you the song that I wrote. Again, don't expect too much vocal-wise. I wasn't super confident in it, and that's something I'm going to work on. But I did write it, and I'm the one playing the guitar as well, if that's sounds cool. I got a guitar only a few months ago, and I've been trying to teach myself how to play it. So doing something like this was a great way to learn, as well as get into the rhythm of actually like playing the guitar, not just like sitting there fumbling at a chord for a long time. Princess Symphony was a tired girl. She felt beset upon by the entire world. I mean, what's a girl to do? I mean, what's a girl to do? She had many ideas. She wasn't listened to. This is where her story starts. She kills her father, the king. What's a girl to do? When she was a girl, she thought of ways to improve the world. She saw injustice. She asks for trust. And what's a girl to do? They sent her to the dungeons. I mean, what's a girl to do? I mean, what's a girl to do? I mean, what's a girl to do? Happy Pride Month. Bye.